Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing some Golgari Gardens. This deck is just packed to the brim with removal, 2 Snuffouts, 4 Cast Down, 4 Defile, 3 Tithing Blade, and a Spinning Darkness. That's 14 pieces of removal, not to mention 3 Crypt Rats, which can wipe the board. We're just trying to blow up every creature that hits the field, and then we have a bunch of card draw to make sure that we don't run out of gas. 3 Lembas, 3 Ichor Wellspring, 4 Fanatical Offering, 3 Eviscerator's Insight. We also have some Nile Spellbombs and Bojuka Bogs to get rid of the graveyard, a couple Campfires, and Pulse of Marasa to stay high in our life total. Playing a 1-of Troublemaker Oof in the main deck because it can really catch your opponent off guard if they're playing Affinity or anything like that. And then we have, for our win cons, 2 Thorn of the Black Rose, an Avenging Hunter, and 3 Troll of Khazad Dûm. For the rest of our mana, we have 1 of Haunted Mire, 1 Witch's Cottage, a bunch of Swamps, and 4 Colony Gardens, hence the name. And then our sideboard, 4 Duress, 2 Drown in Sorrow, 2 Fairy Macabre, 4 Weather the Storm, and 3 Troublemaker Oof. So let's just take this for a league and see how we do. This hand has some card draw and some removal and some lands. So pretty much everything we're looking for to start. Opponent mulligans to 5. Looks like we're against Red Rally or Madness. Definitely helps that they've gone down a couple cards. Defile's not bad if I just want to use that on the Epic here, because I already have cast downs for bigger creatures. And they just go straight to attack, so I think there's no reason not to. If they're Rally, they're going to have some 2/2s I can cast down. If they're Madness, then they're going to have some Gutter Snipes and the like. We'll play a Wellspring here and just pass. Spinning Darkness is a nice draw. Of course, that's our 4th removal spell, so it might take a little while to actually get there, but they pitch a Mountain to their blood. But Spinning Darkness is free and gains us 3 life, so definitely not bad. We're just going to hold up Eviscerator's Insight here. I'm going to guess that they're Madness just because they have not played any other creatures, and if they were Rally, they probably would. But they also did have a rough mulligan. They're getting flooded a little bit, so not 100% sure. Just play this Haunted Mire, and I think we're just discarding one of these cast downs. I can't imagine using 3 cast downs and a Spinning Darkness, so discarding a cast down actually fuels the Spinning Darkness, which is what I'd prefer to use. There's an Epic here. Although I don't really want to exile the Eviscerator's Insight from our graveyard yet. There's the Snacker, so definitely Madness. I think I'll just cast down this Epic here. Yeah, we have tons of removal here, and I think next turn we just slam the Troll. If it doesn't get double bolted, it'll probably just finish off the game in a couple turns. And if it does die, we just get it back with the Witch's Cottage. They do find a Highway Robbery to get back the Snacker. Discarding a Lava Dart, playing a Mountain. We'll just swing for 6. And play our garden. Hit their 7th land, having discarded one before. Definitely not where they want to be. I don't think there's any reason for us to take any damage here, so let's just defile. Make sure we can't die. Even if it comes right back, we still have plenty of removal. And I will flashback Eviscerator's Insight on this plant. They're going to hardcast a Fire Blast on the Troll and then flashback the Lava Dart. Or maybe they have a Lava Dart from hand. Yeah, but that's fine. Like I said, I can get it back with the Witch's Cottage. And Lembas actually lets me just draw it and play it right away. I think we do that. Pass back to them. All right, and we take that game down. They had a rough mulligan, but we also did just have a very good start. We get 4 Weather the Storm, 2 Fairy Macabre, potentially Duress. We don't need Troublemaker Oof. I think Tithing Blade is kind of a waste here. Snuffouts not very good. Probably Thorn's not great, just because we have a lot of removal, but if they get a Snacker that can stick around, it's not great. I think Crypt Rats isn't super necessary either. We're taking out a lot of our win cons, but I think we stop them from killing us, and then we just land a Troll like we just did, and that's how we win. So yeah, I think we have room to bring in the Duresses. Let's do that. Yeah, we got some removal, hand attack. We have the Weather the Storm, and we can get green from this Troll if we really want. Right now, Defile's our only removal, so I think we're going to save it for potentially a Gutter Snipe. And I kind of wanted to Duress anyway if they only have 1 draw 2. This can be nice taking it away. They do have a Faithless Looting, but getting rid of the Grab the Prize is definitely good value. And then I assume they'll like Faithless Looting Fiery Temper here, but they could wait on it. Looks like they will. So I could just play a Wellspring. I might just want to cycle Troll for green mana to make sure that I can have that on a future turn. I think that's probably safest. So just so that we can have access to our Weather the Storm. So next turn I could like Duress, hold up Weather the Storm, or I could maybe just hold up Defile and Weather to like boost the Storm count a little bit on their turn. They use their Blood Token to discard their Faithless Looting, which is interesting. Not their Fiery Temper. I guess they're trying to hold that for when they have a Gutter Snipe or something. Flashback Faithless Looting, sure. Discarding Lava Dart and Sneaky Snacker. So obviously wouldn't mind finding a Bojuka Bog. We have Spell Bombs, we have Fairy Macabres. A lot of graveyard hate. Perfect. We draw the Bojuka Bog. So I could just duress them and then Bojuka Bog. So if I can take like a Faithless Looting, that's more value. I leave up my Defile, which I'm probably not going to kill this Epicure with, so maybe that's a little bit of a waste. I could just go Wellspring. But if they have another Faithless Looting, which I kind of expect since they discarded one so willy-nilly, it feels like getting rid of that's pretty good value. I think we'll go for the duress. Lava Dart, Fire Blast, Fiery Temper. Okay, well, any of these are decent hits. I can take the Lava Dart and then Bojuka Bog. I don't think they'll probably hit us with the flashback. I guess with a Gutter Snipe, this is 6 damage. Gutter Snipe, this is 5. Yeah, I think we take the Lava Dart, then just Bojuka Bog, and obviously I'm fine if they want to sack some lands here for just 1 damage. And we probably won't Defile on the Epicure, but we could. Certainly not here, but if they don't play a Gutter Snipe, maybe I'd want to do it at the end step, but I think we'll wait at least a couple turns for that. Okay, another Epicure, maybe I do. Then again, maybe I just Crypt Rats for 1. That's probably the best bet here. Crack Blood Token right away for a Fiery Temper. Lembas. I mean, if they have Fire Blast, and then they play draw and play a Gutter Snipe here, by tapping out I would lose. They got to get that perfect, though. I think my best bet's probably just Crypt Rats, wipe the board. I guess I deal 1 to myself with the Crypt Rats, so actually they could have a Bolt instead of a Fire Blast. With the Gutter Snipe, it would still be lethal. But I think clearing these up is probably our best shot here. No creatures, nice. And then Weather the Storm's not bad. Well, Lembas looking for land here, but probably won't turn down card draw. Yeah, I mean, we got to keep that. I'm going to hold up the Lembas crack, though. Maybe I just crack it now. No, because if they go for a big turn, I can Weather. Epicure. Blood Token away a mountain. Pass. We're going to crack Lembas. We could die to Bolt, Fire Blast. Hoping that doesn't happen. Maybe I should have played around that by cracking in response to the Blood Token. Looks like we're going to survive this time, though. Defile. Let's go for a Wellspring. Another Defile. Pass the turn. I think we'll take 1 just because I want to Eviscerator's Insight here. Although that's getting greedy again. I think I'm in a very good spot. I often do this where, well, I don't want to waste mana, especially because I'm low on mana, but actually if I tap out here, it's getting more and more likely I just die, so I think I just pass. Spinning Darkness is good. Okay, I was gonna Eviscerator's Insight, but that has Flashback, so I think I want to Spinning Darkness this first, so I don't exile the card with Flashback. This way I gain 3 life. Maybe I should do this during their turn, because if they cast a spell, then I could Spinning Darkness, Eviscerator's Insight. They cast a spell plus Weather the Storm, but I kind of want to hit that land drop. Not that I will anyway. Gonna have to discard here, which is fine because I have a ton of removal, but I think I just Weather the Storm, just make ourselves feel pretty comfortable. 9 life is still not bad, and I still have another Weather, and they're going to have a hard time dealing us 24 damage, I think. Colony Garden would be a good draw. Bojuka Bog, well, it's a land drop. I mean, we're certainly winning here, but, I wouldn't mind making some progress with land drops or permanents on the board or whatever. But for now, we're fine doing this. They can hard cast a Fire Blast if they want. Should I just cast a Fairy Macabre? I think I should. Their graveyard certainly could be relevant again, but it's a little bit of a clock, and more importantly, it's something we can sacrifice to an Insight to draw some more cards. There's an Epicure. Blood Token away a Lava Dart. Play a Mountain. Just gonna cast down this Epicure. Defile is basically cast down, but cheaper. But by doing this, if they try to kill our Fairy Macabre, I can't Eviscerator's Insight it. I just don't expect them to waste burn on that right now. Spellbomb's not bad. It can clear the graveyard if I really need, although I don't care about this 1 Lava Dart, so I might just sack it to an Insight. They are getting so flooded. Pretty unfortunate for them. Crack the Spell Bomb. I could have flashed back the Eviscerator's Insight, but I wouldn't have gotten the extra draw from the Spell Bomb, so seems like a bit of a waste. We get a Troll. I could cycle, but I think, unless I fear tapping out, I think landing a Troll is probably just fine here. I mean, I don't really fear it, but there's probably no reason I need to do it either. I could probably wait at least a turn to get an extra land and have a Weather the Storm up at the same time. Or another Weather. If I want, I can also just use Defiles to add to Storm count. I could Defile my plant token, Defile it again in response, then cast a Weather. They plot a Robbery. There's a Lembas. I think the only way I lose is if I tap out, so I just don't think there's a reason to cast the Troll yet. But we'll keep a Swamp here, and I can cast it in a bit. But with the Highway Robbery and Exile, they could definitely top deck a Gutter Snipe here into the right draws, where if I didn't have mana up, I could die. But doesn't look like that's what they're getting. Flashback Insight, hit for 2, play a Troll of Khazad-dûm, and a Spell Bomb. And I think we'll just discard a Cast Down here. There's the Robbery, discarding a Snacker. Could just pop the Graveyard, but honestly, I don't really need to. I can just Defile the Snacker if I really wanted. They hit their 10th land drop, swing for 8, and pass the turn. So now I could quadruple Defile. Weather the Storm gains us 15, the next one gains us 18, and more if they cast some spells first. They give us the GGs. They had some bad draws, and we had some pretty decent ones, so we take the first match here. You can now pick up my comprehensive guide to Esper Cryo Affinity, including 38 sideboard matchups, and I just put out a big update for my Black Sack guide, including a slightly different deck list. I began offering coaching sessions if you're interested in taking your Pauper game to the next level, and I'm accepting deck donations, so if you desperately want me to play a deck that I usually wouldn't play, something like Elves, then you can make me do that for a small fee. I've started posting a League video every single day, not to mention streaming at least a couple times a week on Twitch, but I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever unless I can get a little bit more help from the community. Any of the ways I've just mentioned are great ways to help me out, or you can even subscribe and support me on a monthly basis. This hand looks pretty good. 2 mana, bunch of card draw, missing some quick removal if we're against something fast, but it looks like we're against Jund, so I think we'll be alright. I mean, we'll need removal at some point, but not too worried about it being speedy. We just need to outgrind them. And I don't think Campfire is so important to get down early. If it were, I could play it, and, you know, if I was against Burn or something, I'd probably play it and just gain 2 life right away, but I don't think we need it too badly. They crack their Spell Bomb and their Landscape. I wouldn't mind some removal. Like, if I find a cast down here, I'd probably keep it. I think Troll's fine too, though. Definitely want to hit our land drops. No bridge, no green mana from them so far. There's a Krark. Play a Wellspring. Alright, if I drew a land there, I'd probably play like the Spell Bomb. But since I didn't, I want to cycle this Troll to hit our land drop without having to cycle it on the next turn. We got a lot of card draw. They Cleansing Wildfire our swamp. That's funny. Yeah, doesn't really affect us. I mean, they could use it to get green mana, but I guess they don't need green mana. We have so many basics, it's not really going to affect us. Play a Blood Fountain, but obviously they're just trying to cycle it to get a land drop or whatever, which looks like they're going to miss on. They do attack for 1, which we will take. Yeah, we'll take. I might jump with this next turn. Swamp. We have a Pulse Marasa. Don't think I need that right now. I think we're playing Spell Bomb, so they can't get any value off this Blood Fountain if they wanted to, and then the Campfire, and then holding up our draw 2s. There's a Vault. Refurb. Discards a Swamp. I can probably draw another one with my Fanatical Offering, and if not, I can always Pulse a Marasa back a land. Blood Token, discard Cast Down. I'll jump with the Plant here. I can always sack the Wellspring later to the Insight. Snuff Out and Tithing Blade. Probably want to save these. These are pretty decent ones to just Crypt Rats. If I wanted to do that right now, I don't think I want to, because I need to make sure to hit my land drop. Pulse back a Swamp, and then just hold up 2 mana. It's probably fine. Yeah, I think we can do that. Obviously, I could just Insight here, but it's not a guarantee, and if we whiff on the land, it's pretty bad. Plus, Pulse isn't doing the most in this matchup anyway. Snuff Out's pretty much going to be saved for Chrysalis. I think we'll just take 3 here. We are wasting this Campfire a little bit because I'm using mana to draw cards, but I think that's fine. I could Crypt Rats, but honestly, I'm thinking that they might just have like a bunch of draw 2s up. Let's put the Troll on top. And if they do, then they are looking for a reason to get these killed. So I think I'm actually not too concerned with that. Plus, I can offset their damage almost entirely by just playing or using the Campfire. There's a Lembas. Yeah, there's a draw 2 for the Lembas, so if they don't have 2 mana up, that'll be a good time to Crypt Rats them. Also, I wouldn't mind catching more Refurbs, obviously. Not sure they're going to play more of those, though. There's a Wildfire to get their green source, and we'll just crack this Lembas now. We have plenty of artifacts to sacrifice, so we'll take some damage. Play a Lembas. We do have a Troublemaker Roof in the main deck, which wouldn't be a bad draw. Although I feel like more Lembas is probably fine, too. I don't think I need a Defile. I mean, Cast Down's a little better, I guess, maybe. Alright, we'll pass. Makeshift Munitions. I can oof that away, but otherwise I have no way to get rid of it. I could kill these guys in response if I really want. I think that's fine, though. We have enough ways to gain life. I'm not too worried about that killing us. We'll take 3. They're going to Offering to draw 2. Play a Wellspring. We'll crack another Lembas. Haunted Mire. So, Crypt Rats for 1. I'm not even getting that much value. I feel like I don't need to do that. Let's just pass again. I have a bunch of removal. I have Eviscerator's Insight, Campfires, Spell Bombs. And at this point, I can Chrysalis to even kill, or I can Crypt Rats to even kill the Chrysalis if I want. We'll take 3 here. Campfire for 2 of it. Flashback Eviscerator's Insight on this Wellspring. Yeah, I think we just Crypt Rats, and then we wait until their upkeep. I mean, they'll probably throw something at it, which is fine, but if they don't, we can wait till their upkeep and then do it then, and they waste some mana from that turn. I'll discard this Snuff Out, and I'll activate this for 5. They're gonna throw a bunch of them at us in response with the munitions. If they have some way to like keep the Chrysalis alive through the Crypt Rats, I just also have a Defile on them for 1 million. So yeah, we will take a fair amount of damage here, because we're taking 5 from the Crypt Rats plus like 5 from their munitions. So we're down to 15. Not going to need to Defile this turn, right? No. We'll just campfire in response, just to make sure we somehow don't die from 15. 15's already very comfortable. I think we'll be fine, but might as well. I mean, if they go for a Blood Fountain, get a couple back, I can crack a Spell Bomb, and I'll waste card draw, but, like, that's fine. If they waste their whole turn to do that, I'm pretty okay with it. And they have a Spell Bomb. Okay. I mean, we're playing a Troll, which I'm sure they have a cast down for, but that's fine. Garden, and just pass. Insight the Wellspring. I think I'll crack a Spell Bomb here, because I don't want them to... I have 2, and they're at 7 cards in hand, so maybe this is a waste, but making sure they can't use that Eviscerator's Insight's pretty good. There's a lot of creatures to get rid of, too. I think it's decent. Cast down the Troll. It's gone. Another Chrysalis. I'll Defile that. They'll ping us for 1. I'll Campfire. Spinning Darkness. Could hit my land drop if I cycle this Troll, but we have a good amount of mana, and I figure if they don't have another cast down, Troll's going to kill them in a few turns. Map onto the plant. They don't kill in response, which is nice. So I can start attacking for, I mean, a tiny amount of damage, but that's okay. And another Lembas on top is good. With the Crypt Rats in hand, we do just want to stay a healthy amount above their life total, so that once we get them down to, like, maybe 8-ish, if I have enough mana, I can just Crypt Rats bomb them. They do have the cast down. That's fine. Lembas. Refurb. Spinning Darkness gains life, but doesn't actually hit much that we want, so I think we'll get rid of that. Activate Campfire. And they can try to Spellbomb us in response when our Campfire's tapped if they want to get rid of all this, which would be fine, but we're going to cast down the Refurb. We have the removal. We have the mana. We do have an Avenging Hunter in the deck that if we find, and Thorns, we have all 3 of those, that if we find, we obviously want them to not be able to take them, and they can ping us for 1 off of this if they want. Pulsamarasa the Chrysalis, so I can crack the Spell Bomb, and they could Blood Fountain it back, but they don't gain the life. This is going to leave the Refurb in there, though, so they can get it back later. I think that's fine. We also don't draw from the Spell Bomb. Maybe this isn't worth it. But keeping him down 6 life is relevant, seeing as we're trying to go for the Crypt Rats. Obviously, no Chrysalis is nice. You know, it's fine. Cast a Lembas. Troll. Troll's good. Swing for 1. Cast another Troll. They crack Lembas in response. And there's an Infiltrator, which we have a cast down for because it theoretically could outgrow a Defile, even though Defile's -8 at the moment. They have a Cleansing Wildfire. I'll float a mana here. I think we have 1 basic left. Oh, 3 basics left. Yeah. We're, like I said, we have tons. We're fine. They already had all 6 of their basics, so they didn't want to go for their own, which makes sense. Eviscerator's Insight can grow the Infiltrator. If they sack the other spawn, I can get it with a Tithing Blade. Refurb. That's a little annoying now, because I actually do like the cards in my hand. I guess Tithing is not looking super great. I did kind of want to play it and flip it at some point, but looks like that might not be happening. If they'd already sacked the spawn, I might go for it, but if the spawn's around, then the Tithing Blade's not even getting anything here. They do crack their Spell Bomb, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, but I think that's fine. They have 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4 things they could sacrifice, I think. I don't think there's any way they can keep this Gixian Infiltrator alive through this Defile, so I think we're just going to go for it. If they amaze me and give this 6 counters, you know, good for them. Obviously, if they had the mana to throw everything with munitions, they could, but, like, honestly, that almost might be beneficial if they sacked, like, a whole bunch of lands and then I still just cast this down. But they don't have the mana for that, so I think we'll be fine. So, yep, they'll just sack it to throw at us. Play a Wellspring, cast down. So I could cast down the Refurb. I think if they want to trade the Refurb for the plant, that's fine, though. They take 7. Okay, not quite lethal with the Crypt Rats, but we're getting there. Blood Fountain back, a Refurb, and a Gixian. We're going to get rid of a cast down. They have a Wildling. Interesting. Gains them 3 life, but I can just blow that up. Okay, so actually, if I Crypt Rats for 3... That's not going to work. I could Crypt Rats for 1, then Troll can get in, but the problem is I'm losing a bunch of damage from the Crypt Rats. But if I do it after damage, then they're going to block. So that's not going to work. I can't cast down to prevent them from blocking, so I don't think there's a reason to cast down here. Insight. Well, it looks like if we're doing a Crypt Rats this turn, it's going to be a small one, so I'm just going to draw 3, see what's up. Avenging Hunter's pretty good. Another Crypt Rats is good. If I do a Crypt Rats for 3 damage, they can actually kill the Troll, though, because they have a mana from the spawn and a mana from this. So I can't do 3 and kill the Wildling, which means I think I am just doing 1. And they can throw something and kill the plant token still, but they just throw it all at us. Okay. I mean, I guess plant can't get through, but they concede. All right. It was going to take another couple minutes probably, but we were going to get there eventually. They go to 11. I attack them down to 5. Then that means the next Crypt Rats is lethal. If they somehow gain some life out of that, though, they also have to kill the Troll or have blockers. If they have enough blockers, then we can actually trade with their guys. We can Avenging Hunter. Like, we were going to get there eventually, so That was nice. We didn't see our oof, but now we have 4 of them, so hopefully that'll be good. And we have 4 duress. I don't like Snuff Out because it doesn't hit Gixian or Refurb. All it hits is Chrysalis. Same with Spinning Darkness. It doesn't even kill a Chrysalis, so those can all go. Tithing Blade's not great either. It can catch an early Gixian, but like if they have the spawn just sitting around, it's kind of a waste. But I guess early it's good, and late it's not super relevant. I don't know. If we're pulling in 3 Troublemakers and 4 Duress, though, I think it's probably fine to take out the Tithing Blades. And the Campfire's not as important, but obviously, like, with the munitions there, it was important to be able to keep our life total not just high, but like high enough to stay above our own Crypt Drafts. But if they don't have the munitions, like, I think a Campfire is kind of unnecessary, so I think just keeping 1 is fine. Like, I could bring in Macabres because they have some utility, but I think Spellbomb's probably better in general. I think having 3 Crypt Rats is good, because if they have Gixians early, it can wipe them, or obviously just like a couple Refurbs, and late game it can wipe the Chrysalis and everything, so I think that's fine. This could be a turn 2 oof, taking away a land, which could be really good. Although they start with a swamp, so that plan might be a little harder to enact. Although it's not the end of the world if they just don't have any bridges anyway. I could oof and take the Wellspring. I don't think that's that good. I think I'd rather just get a Lembas down here. Don't think I need another swamp here. And the next turn I can oof and duress maybe. Another Wellspring and a Landscape. Wellspring, yes. We're duressing and playing a 2-drop for sure. Let's just figure out which one by casting this. They have the Wildfire, but again, they have no bridge. Cast Down or Insight. Next turn they're probably going to try to Insight a Wellspring, so I think delaying that a couple turns is pretty decent. I guess that means they just play a Chrysalis, but that's fine too. Yeah, let's just do that. And then oof is not going to be able to attack because of the Chrysalis, so I don't think there's a reason to get that down and like use it on a Wellspring. I think we just play our own Wellspring. I would have liked to take an early land, but they're also being a little screwed by not having the land in the first place because they can't Wildfire, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Play a Forest. There's Chris. Lembas. I think we're just cycling Troll. Or we're playing a 2-drop here, so just get a Haunted Mire and just get a Fanatical Offering, I think. I'll probably just jump with the plant token and Fanatical Offering that, because I have the Troublemaker Roof to sack the Wellspring, so I think that's fine. They play another Wellspring. Go for the chump. Decent draws. They leave up something. It's not the Insight because they only have 4 mana. I could Hunter here, but we don't want to do that without killing the Chrysalis first, obviously. So I think we just probably play a Garden, play the Lembas, and then hold up a Cast Down to kill the Chrysalis on the end step. I'll definitely take an Offering, though. And then if they also play like the Refurb this turn, I can play a Hunter and Defile in the same turn next. Ooh, they find their bridge, so they could Wildfire it right away. I don't have an instant speedway to get rid of that, so they do get their value, but I mean, at this point, I probably don't care to Troublemaker Oof it, unless they're going to get more Wildfires. I'll probably save this for like a Blood Fountain or a Refurb or something. There's the Refurb. I think I'm fine discarding this Garden. If they play another Refurb, it changes whether I can play the Hunter. Yeah, I don't want to chump. I don't care to chump because I just want to kill this, I think, because I'm going to play the Hunter this turn. And I want to save the Witch's Cottage for the Hunter, so this will pull out a swamp anyway. Hopefully they don't have sideboard initiative that they can like play that I'm not expecting. And I'm going to Defile this now because it didn't look like they had a draw 2. And I guess if they did, they were going to use it on a Wellspring probably, but they just have a lot of equity sitting on the board that they can't really crack, or if they want to with the Insight, it's going to just take a lot of mana, but it might be time. There's a Chrysalis and bridge. They have a Cast Down we know about, so I'm going to Forge onto the plant token. I could also just scry, actually. We don't currently have removal, and I need to find that for the Chrysalis. We have a draw 3, but I think this is the safe play, and probably the better one anyway. We don't need a swamp. We don't really need a troll right now. I don't hate troll in general. We might want that in a turn or two, especially if they cast down the Hunter. Yeah, we'll keep that, actually. But we're not going to play it this turn. I'm going to go for a Fanatical. We'll duress. See if this forces a cast down, or if we get to take something else. Double cast down, makeshift. I actually think I just want to take makeshift because it unlocks all of their Wellsprings. I don't care as much about its utility, but between Pulse and Witch's Cottage, we can actually get our creatures back pretty decently. It also clears the plant token as a blocker, but they could take the initiative if they cast down the Hunter and the plant token. I guess if they do that, I can always just Pulse back the Hunter, but I could just Troublemaker Oof away one of their Wellsprings to make sure that doesn't happen. I guess we have 2 extra mana from this that we can play this turn, so let's do that, because if I find a cast down, this obviously just changes things. Ooh, okay, Crypt Rats is pretty good. We're going to keep that. And I will go for the Troublemaker Oof. Sacking the... I think the map has more utility at this point, actually. Sacking a Lembas. Getting rid of a Wellspring. Sure. They could sack a bunch of spawns to use the Eviscerator's Insight in response, which isn't a terrible idea, but looks like they're not going to do that. Cast down the Hunter. Alright, so we have a chump blocker for the Chrysalis, so they can't take the initiative. If they do wipe both of these, I can still just bring back the Hunter, so it's not the end of the world. Looks like they're going to go for that Insight on the Wellspring. Cryptrats doesn't really deal with this Chrysalis very well because it can be a 7 toughness creature, but if I can kill the Chrysalis in some way, it can wipe up the spawn and anything else they play for a bit. There's a Refurb. That is a little annoying. Everything in our hand is pretty good, but these two get these back, so we probably just discard this Troll. Chump with the plant. I guess I could have chumped with the Troublemaker if I wanted to pulse it back, but I don't think we want to do that. We do get to Stash here. I think that's, well, Stash gives us a 4-1, which I don't know if that's very good. The Treasure could be decent. Actually, Treasure makes it so we have 5, 6. That's still not enough for the Chrysalis. I might want to just draw the card, so sure, we will goad a spawn. These other ones are going to be attacking anyway, so might as well. There's an Offering. I can Crypt Rats for 1, so Offering if I can find a 2-drop, or not a 2-drop, a cast down or something for the Chrysalis, that'll be fine. So let's sack this Lembas. Another Oof and a Spell Bomb. Spell Bomb's not bad. Okay, I could Crypt Rats for 1, and then Spell Bomb, or not Spell Bomb, Troublemaker Oof, so we have 2 blockers. Crypt Rats for 1. So I wipe those away, kill the Refurb, play the Cottage to bring back. It could just be the Crypt Rats, could be Avenging Hunter. Obviously we can get the Avenging Hunter back with a Pulse. This makes it so we can go to the Throne next turn. And I can always pulse back the Crypt Rats later. I think that's best. Let's do that. Put this on top. Let's pass through so they lose their mana just in case. I'm not attacking because we want to retain this. Let's bargain the Troublemaker Roof. Sack a map because the Lembas would shuffle. Get rid of their Wellspring. And now I have 2 chump blockers. Even if they wipe them and take the initiative, I have the Avenging Hunter. And if they don't, I get to just chump and go to the Throne. They have a Spell Bomb. That's good against Pulse. If I can start holding up Pulse before they use the Spell Bomb, maybe it'll be okay, but... oh, never mind. They just sack it to an Offering right away. That's pretty decent. And they have Thorn of the Black Rose. Okay. Well, if I can find removal, then I can kill this Thorn and then take the Monarch. But here we get to draw an extra card. And I think we're just going straight to the Throne, seeing what we get there. I could also just hit my own Thorn, which is a pretty good chance. Double Crypt Rats or Troublemaker Oof. I kept Thorn in, I think. Don't know why I'd take it out. Yeah, so I just whiffed on that. Okay, Troublemaker Oof is just a 5/5, so let's get a Crypt Rats and hold up Pulse, or I could play Spell Bomb. Yeah, I guess them getting their stuff back would be pretty bad. Map onto my Troublemaker Oof. We get a Gardens. Crypt Rats, do I want to use that? I guess map onto Crypt Rats again? No, let's just play a Spell Bomb. Play a Garden. They can have the Monarch for this turn, and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure they still have this cast down from forever ago. Yeah, we saw 2 and they only have used 1. So they still have a cast down, which is pretty good. They use it to kill the Hunter. Swing with both is interesting. I think we just double chump. Crypt Rats can only deal 6, but if I get a land, well, there's a Chrysalis. I could... 1 damage here actually is pretty good. It wipes the spawn so this one doesn't grow, and it kills the Thorn. This one gets big, but if I can just find a cast down for that... how many cast downs have I used? 1 cast down, 1 Defile. Is that it? Yeah, so I should have plenty left. This also means I can Crypt Rats to wipe the Chrysalis on our turn, take the Monarch. Although this is going to lose Hexproof, so if they have another cast down or just some other way to kill it, won't be able to do that. Pulse back the Thorn, sure. Oh, I should have Spellbombed that. Why did I let that go? Oops. And they have a map for the Chrysalis. Well, that changes. Now I can't do that. I can still attack in and they have to block. And chump. Well, they have Thorn back in hand. It wasn't the worst thing ever to let that go, I guess, but I feel like I maybe should have stopped it. We do get another Swamp here, which lets us deal 7 with the Crypt Rats. We have a Pulse. Doesn't currently do much. I think we start with a Lembas. Insight's pretty good. Map, 4 damage. It's not enough to pulse back something and play it. Let's just play a Wellspring and Insight it. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for some removal. We have tons of removal left, so if we can just get like 2 removal spells, that would be great. Duress is fine. If I attack here, they chump. Well, I'm not chumping with my Crypt Rats. Maybe they don't chump and they just deal us a bunch back. This is really unfortunate. We just need some removal, and we are not getting there. We'll attack. They do chump. Okay, that helps. Let's Insight a Lembas. Try to just find a cast down. I guess the shuffle did not help ensure we hit a cast down because there was a bunch on the bottom. Whatever. Campfire, or I think we should duress them. Take an Offering. They have a Thorn and that. Thorn and a Refurb. I could just hold up cracking the spell bomb, or I could just play a campfire. Let's just play a campfire. All right, well, they can take the initiative here, but then we have a Thorn to take the Monarch. We also have a Pulse to get the initiative back if we really want to do that. They also get to just deal us 8, which is pretty annoying. We are lowish on time, and we're a little bit behind on them, so we need to play faster, and we need to win this game, because I don't think we're going to win another one. So they do get a Forest. Play that. Cycle their Landscape. Lembas. I mean, if we could just kill this Chrysalis, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Their Thorn doesn't matter if we have a Thorn. They duress us, take our Pulse. That is annoying. Refurb just eats a Swamp, though, and then just dies to a Crypt Rats. 1 damage from Crypt Rats to everything. Try to take both of these. Okay, we got them. We're going to Scry because we're looking for cast downs. Defile is 5, 6, 7, 8. That's enough, actually, with the... Okay, yeah, that's great. It's enough because I've already hit it for 1. Play a Wellspring to get the Insight. And, of course, I can hit it for a bit more if I really need, but the 1 should be enough here. Insight, the Wellspring... Lembas. Let's kill this. And Lembas. Sure, another Crypt Rat's on top. Let's pass. Defile. Alright, we should be good now, I think. I mean, if this Crypt Rats dies, it makes things a little harder. But if not, we have a good amount of life gain. We can just keep dealing 3 damage to them, wiping their Thorn, attacking for 4, etc. They have a Crypt Rats. That I was not expecting. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's actually going to kill our Crypt Rats. Okay, fair enough. Plus deal us a couple. Well, 4. I'll crack a Lembas here. We get to stash. Mana is damage, so I think it's worth it. And we'll just deal 1 damage to everything, make them use their Crypt Rats. And I think I probably just want to hit them back for a bunch. They use it for 3, and I can use this. We're taking 1, we're down to 10. I think we just do this because we have a bunch of life gain, and it helps the next Crypt Rats kill them, ideally. They cycle a Landscape, sack a Lembas, and then just pass. So we have 7 damage from a Crypt Rats here. They have a Lembas. Yeah, we need a little bit more damage from them, I think. Well, because Crypt Rats deal 7, but they're at 14 with this Lembas, so that makes things harder. They play Thorn, which is fine because we can take it back right away if we want. They play a Spell Bomb and crack it. Luckily, we've actually taken over them for time, so if we just keep up a brisk pace, we should be okay. We get a 4-1, I suppose, here. That could deal some damage, actually, if it survives. They also didn't leave up mana for the Lembas, so I think we're going to exile that with the Troublemaker Oof. I don't really need a Bajuka Bog. Actually, well, I scried it to the bottom and I got one anyway, so it's fine. What am I cracking? This map. I was going to say, actually, the extra black mana is just good enough, I think. Let's just defile this and then exile all of that. And play a Thorn, Campfire, draw a card for turn. So now they have some creatures they actually have to kill, because otherwise we get in for a bunch of damage and then Crypt Rats can finish them off. They do get a Lembas here and a draw 2. Vault of Whispers, they have a Refurb. That's fine, I can just Crypt Rats their stuff. Thorn's probably worse. Should have discarded that, but that's okay. Chrysalis, Blood Fountain. Alright, crack a Spell Bomb, because we have another one we might as well. Get the card draw here. Yeah, actually, I guess not having the removal means that I can't get in with my creatures very effectively, and if I kill them with the Crypt Rats, that's not great. Although we get to go to the throne again. Troublemaker Roof, sure, big guy. Let's attack with everything. Just see what comes of that. Triple blocking the skeleton is kind of weird, but I'll take it. They could have blocked the Thorn. They wouldn't be taking a damage. They sack the Lembas. Let's see, how much mana do we have? 8, 9... for black, so that's not quite lethal. So let's just play this Troll. Let's play a Bajuka Bog, and Thorn can deal more damage, I guess. It can attack. Yes, we are the Monarch. Play a Spell Bomb, and then pass. So yeah, I think we have a good amount of damage on board. Oh, perfect. Cast down's pretty good too. So I can cast down. I have 13 damage on board, so that's Xaxes. And if they have a removal spell or something, the Crypt Rats should be able to finish it off. They have a Troublemaker Oof. What's that getting rid of? Like a Spell Bomb I don't really care about at this point. I guess I might as well draw a card. Another cast down's good. And they're going to pass. And we win. Alright, I think we were going to win on time. Well, I think if they had nothing, I could just cast down, and attack. So we were going to just win the game. But then, if that did not work, we were just going to win on time in the end. So, like I said at the very beginning, grindy matchup, and I knew we had to be prepared for that. But we ended up getting there in the end. Alright, we're going to keep this one. Good mana. Good card draw. Not a lot of removal, but if they are go wide, Crypt Rats could be good. Ooh, I saw white and I was like, White Weenie could be good with Crypt Rats. This should be a good matchup for us in general. This hand is really slow. Mono White Heroic, if we can just kill the 1 or maybe 2 creatures they can suit up, we should be good, but currently we have no removal to do that with, so... Sentinel's Eyes, we're going to take 2 here because I think Plant Token can chump for a little bit more damage next turn with a Fanatical Offering as well. But if we're lucky, we'll just get some cast downs. Or Tithing Blades even. Ooh, okay. So I could Tithing Blade here. They sack the Armadillo, and they go all in on the Trailblazer. I think I still just Fanatical Offering this turn. If I can maybe like double Tithing Blade in 2 turns, that could be good, assuming they don't have any other creatures. If I Tithing Blade here, they know to go all in on this one, whereas if not, they might be scared of the removal and actually try to spread it out, and then the Tithing Blade gets more value. For example, there's a Sentinel's Eyes on the Armadillo here. We're not chumping for that much damage, but we want to use the Fanatical Offering anyway, so we might as well save the 2 here. Thorn and Campfire. Campfire's not bad. I was really hoping to get like another Tithing Blade or a Cast Down, because I would just play a Crypt Rats to chump for a turn if I could then kill both creatures next turn, but there's no guarantee of that. So I kind of think I might just... Campfire, hold up 2 mana for an Eviscerator's Insight to try to find more removal. We're also bluffing a cast down here, so it's possible that they will be a little more hesitant to cast anything, or hold up protection or something like that. Hyena Umbra on the Armadillo, not the heroic one, that's interesting. Solid Footing on the Trailblazer, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good for them, because this deals 8, this deals 2, but the Hyena Umbra doesn't deal with the Tithing Blade, so if I can just find a cast down, some way to kill this Trailblazer. In fact, I should do this now, because I have Snuff Outs in this deck. Defile's not going to do it, though. Snuff Out, cast down. There we go, okay. We are going to 3, but we snuff this out. Then we Tithing Blade this Armadillo, and then I actually think we just hold up, so I can activate Campfire. It's maybe a little overly cautious, but we're really low. So I want to activate Campfire, and this way, if they get like not an Armadillo, but like an Acroan Skyguard or something, or a Deathblade Elite, I could have defiled it in response. Here, I would have needed an extra swamp, so this is not great. But, I mean, activating the Campfire is not terrible either. I could Thorn of the Black Rose. Oh, double Defile. That uses up our entire turn to double Defile, because they have Ward 1 on it, but I think the chances that they kill us if this guy dies are very low. Whereas if I let it live, if they get like another Solid Footing, I could take lethal. So I think we should just do this. Pay 1, -3/-3, do it again. And we'll see if they have another creature. They don't. Alright, now we just slam a Thorn, start drawing, play a Colony Garden. I think we'll be okay. Alright, we win that game. Like I said, should be a good matchup for us, but of course they have some protection. We get Duress and Troublemaker Oof. I think that's it. We pretty much want all of our removal. We don't need Spell Bombs. Yeah, they have Snuff Outs, but I don't really care that much about this. We don't actually need win cons because they just lose once their stuff dies. So, yeah, I guess Thorn is actually probably the best because it's cheap, Death Touch is good, and the Monarch can be decent, but like I think Campfire's better, Tithing Blade's better, Spinning, yeah. Well, Trolls will be our win cons, but again, we probably don't actually need any win cons. Otherwise, we just have a ton of removal, a ton of card draw, and a ton of life gain. Well, we only have 1 land here, but we do have Snuff Out, Duress, Cast Down. If we find 1 land, we're in a pretty good spot. They mulligan to 6. I think we keep. Like, Duress not only takes a good card, but also lets us know exactly what we need to play around and how many creatures they have. And then Snuff Out can ideally take their 1 big creature that they go all in on. If we don't hit another land, we could certainly lose. Especially if their hand's a little more redundant and doesn't die to 1 Snuff Out, but we'll give it a try. They have an Armored Armadillo. So I could just snuff that out for 1 mana here, but I think we'll Duress. It could be bad because if they have like a Hyena Umbra or something, I'm not going to be able to keep it alive, but Sentinel's Eyes, Homestead Courage, Benevolent Blessing. We'll take the Blessing because that's protection. Nothing else gives protection, and we can snuff it out next turn. If not, well, Cast Down's going to cost extra, so we can't Cast Down, but they have a Sacred Cap, but it's not the worst thing ever to see. There's the Sentinel's Eyes. We'll take 1. Bajuka Bog. I was just going to let this go, but actually if I snuff it out, I get rid of the Sentinel's Eyes, which is pretty good. Then they just have a Sacred Cat, a Homestead Courage, and we have Cast Downs for them. I think we will then. Getting rid of the Sentinel's Eyes can be pretty good, so I think we might as well. They have a cat, and they give it a counter. I could just cast it down. Yeah, I think I should. I was going to say maybe I don't because I already hit our land, so I don't need to draw for it, but if they get a way to protect it, I could lose to it, and I think that's fine. Obviously, they can bring it back and then Courage it, but they have a Trailblazer. They leave up a mana. I could just cast it down. I think that's fine, though. They could have, like, Emergent Scathed. I think I'd rather have the lands for both of these. I don't need a Campfire. Well, I mean, we're in a fine spot, but we do need to find some more lands for sure. But I guess if they tap out for... Yeah, they're only going to tap out for a Benevolent Blessing, which means Cast Down doesn't kill it now. Defile couldn't, so now I have to find green mana for the oof. That's why maybe I should just cast it down, but tough call. They play Secluded Step. Okay. I mean, Tithing Blade also just kills this, which would be a good draw if we're lucky. Wellspring. I think I want to have 2 draws to find a land here, so let's do this Offering first. We don't hit the land, but Campfire, I mean, they don't have that good of a clock. Going to be 3 damage with this Courage, unless they can find like a solid footing or something. Or I guess anything else would deal a little more damage, but... Campfire can hopefully offset some of the damage. We'll take 3. And Tithing Blade's still really good because I can kill the cat with the Defile. Alright, as long as they don't have protection for the cat, I think this will just win us the game. Although if they do have protection, they might not use it on this because... Okay, yeah, they do. So we're going to cast down in response. They might know that like they need to play around the Tithing Blade. We kill off the cat though. This is not going to rebound. And as long as they don't get another creature into this next turn, the Tithing Blade will kill theirs, and I think that'll be game. If they do get a creature though, we're going to be in a tough spot actually. Okay, Courage does give them +4 damage, so we're going to take 7. But we get to Tithing Blade and then Campfire. I think we'll be okay. So they sack that. And I guess I shouldn't have activated Campfire because I could hold up Defile, but I think that's okay. All right, we take that match down. All right, we have... Not a very good one. 1 lander, 0 lander. We've had pretty good hands so far this league, so I guess it's about time we get some bad ones, but a bit unfortunate. Alright, barely good enough with the Troll. Put back a Defile. Kind of just want the card draw, so I guess I put back the Tithing Blade. Play a Swamp, cycle Troll for another Swamp, and play a Lembas next turn. Against something red. No 1-drop usually means Madness. Snuff Out, not the best thing against a red deck, but if it is Madness, killing a Gutter Snipe right away can be decent. Lembas, we're looking for lands. I think I'll keep that though. We already have one obviously, but like if we don't hit a land next turn, it gives us a better chance to hit it the following turn, although it gives us a worse chance of hitting it next turn obviously. But okay, I mean sacrificing the Lembas to a Fanatical Offering kind of sucks against the mono red deck because the life gain's good. And also using a Bog when they have nothing in the graveyard is a little unfortunate. But they also didn't cast anything, so... Or, like, plot a robbery, which is kind of interesting. There's a Faithless Looting. Mountain and a Snacker. And they just play a Mountain. Alright, I gotta use these to draw some cards, even if we are wasting some life gain, unfortunately. Another Bojuka Bog wouldn't be bad. Cast down Troublemakers, Bending Darkness. Well, we're gonna draw another 2. And we don't get there. I mean, we have decent removal now. Some life gain, but Bojuka Bog or Haunted Mire would have been really nice draws there. Flashback to Faithless Looting. Snacker coming back. Discard double Lava Dart. I think I just Defile here because if we get an untapped land, I might just play Thorn of the Black Rose. And I was not necessarily counting on it, but if we get a Bojuka Bog, that's also really good. Because we hit 2 Lava Darts and a Snacker. They plot a robbery, play a Mountain. Wheel Offering the map. Tithing Blade. Well, I don't love tapping out here. We do still have Snuff Out and Spinning Darkness, but we also just have nothing else going on. So we're certainly just playing a Thorn of the Black Rose and hoping that we can survive. If we can get green mana, Pulse of Marauders is a nice bunch of life. There's the Haunted Mire, okay. What's our most useless card? Probably the Snuff Out because we already have a Spinning Darkness for the first pinger they play. And obviously I don't want to pay 4 life. Grab the prize, Fiery Temper. We take 5. Grab the prize, Snacker. Luckily that doesn't bring the Snacker back yet. But 7 damage in a turn with them losing basically nothing is pretty unfortunate. Nothing in terms of card advantage, that is. Play a Wellspring. Play our Mire. I could map onto this or I could hold up a Cast Down. They have a Robbery plotted, I guess I'm already holding up the Spinning Darkness. Sure, we'll map onto here. Snuff Out in the Grave. Decent map, for sure. Oh, and we got to discard... Troublemaker Roof's just a 2/2. I guess it draws this card off the Wellspring, but I think that's our worst card here. Lembas is good. If we don't die right now, we have a pretty good shot of surviving, I think. But there's the Gutter Snipe. They're going to cast the Robbery, and in response, I'm going to Spinning Darkness. And hopefully we're not just dead, but it looks like we very well might be. Lightning Bolt with the Gutter Snipe's 5 damage. Lava Dart's going to be 6. That's 11, so if they have the Fire Blast, we're certainly dead. And they always have it. Yep, there it is. Just an awkward start. But we get Duresses, we get Weather the Storms, and Fairy Macabre's in. Same as last time. Take out those Troublemaker, Crypt Rats. Oh, Snuff Outs I already meant to take out. Probably don't need Avenging Hunter. Thorn can be good. Graveyard can be good. I guess we don't need this much removal, probably. Tithing Blade can gain this life, but it's really slow. But it can get like a Snacker or something. I think we cut the Cast Downs, honestly. I guess only 3 of them. because we have Defiles, which already kills anything, pretty much. All right, we'll try this. Nope, not going to cut it. Yeah, we also mulligan to 5 there, which is just brutal. I guess we're going to keep this one. It's a lot of Eviscerator's Insights, but we do have a Campfire and a Duress, which is decent. Ideally, we could find something other than the Campfire to sacrifice to draw 2. Spinning Darkness. I could Campfire here, and that gives us the potential to Eviscerate his Insight at next turn, but I just don't think that's what I want to do, so I think I might as well Duress to try to stop a draw 2. They do have 2 draw 2s, 2 Fiery Tempers, and a Bolt. Grab the Prize is more damage, but they could plot the Robbery this next turn and then Fiery Temper the following turn, which ends up actually being more damage, but it's more mana. Whereas if I take that, then next turn they just grab the Prize and have to discard a card, probably. I think we take the Robbery here. And just play a Mountain and pass. We get a Spell Bomb. Ugh, I mean, I guess that's a better thing to crack to the Insight, but then I'm not, like, I don't know. I think I'm just playing Campfire here, gaining 2. The next turn, if I don't draw a land, I'm just playing Spell Bomb, activating Campfire, and then the following turn I use the Insight, maybe. Not great either way. There's the Grab the Prize with the Temper. Kind of hoping they wouldn't hit a land there without using the draw 2, but I guess that was too much to ask for. Yeah, there's an Offering. Play the Spell Bomb. Play a Mountain and pass. There's the Swamp. All right. So now I guess I'd have to take a turn off from using the Campfire, but I can sack the Spell Bomb to the Offering and draw an extra card. Probably worth it. Certainly they could get a Cast in the Fire at any point, get rid of our Campfire, but I can't do much about that. Draw a bunch here, play a Colony Garden, and what are we looking for now? Weather the Storm, Duresses, just play a Wellspring. Pulse is good. They play a 6th Mountain. All right, Weather's pretty good. We do just have a bunch of instant speed spells, so now I think we're in a pretty good spot. We'll pass. They're gonna pass. We will Insight a Wellspring. Draw 3, activate Campfire, another Weather, cast Spell Bomb. We'll put the Troll back on top just so we keep hitting land drops. I think it's a fine time to Duress them. Just take they might be sandbagging draw 2s, or maybe just like a Bolt or a Fire Blast or whatever. All right, they concede right there. Yeah, I mean, they didn't even see our hand, but they were flooded. We started stabilizing. We're in a good spot. All right, let's try to do that again. All right, we have 2 lands, but they're both tap lands. We do have a Campfire, Wellspring, Defile. It's another risky one, but I think we keep. It's slow like it was last time, but we have the pieces we need. Ugh. I really wanted them to Faithless Looting here, though, so I could just Bojuka Bog away whatever they get, but I guess that was too much to ask for. Mountain, Epicure. Okay, honestly, triple Epicure could be a problem. Well, Fair Macabre's not bad because it lets us catch a Sneaky Snacker if they have it. But here, I think I just needed to Defile one of these guys. I don't really have board clear because I took the Crypt Rats out, and this is just going to be a lot of damage over the course of a few turns. But I guess Defile and then Campfire to offset them is not bad. But I don't know if I Campfire here because I need to hit those land drops. I think I go for the Wellspring now, especially now that I drew the Fanatical. Yeah, not great. Cast into the Fire the Wellspring. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. It is annoying, but yeah, I can live with it. I'll take 2. God, I really want to land. I could just Campfire and start gaining 2 to offset these. Although they might have another Cast in the Fire. I could Duress and play Campfire. I mean, I think if we're going to play Campfire, we might as well use it, though. I'm going to go for the Wellspring. Give me a Swamp. Nope, can't cast that either. Get rid of the Thorn. They cast a Robbery. Discard Fiery Tempers. That puts us to 9. Epicure's down to 7. Flame Breather. we don't even have the removal. Yep, this is gonna. Well, there's the removal, I guess. I mean, if I cast that down, we take 2 from the Epicures. We are at 5. We probably die. I think my only shot is to Offering for the Wellspring. I need to hit like Spinning Darkness to kill the Flame Breather and an untapped land to Duress them to not die. But I think that's our best chance, honestly. Just casting this down doesn't do enough. I mean, drawing no lands is gonna do that to you. Alright, this one's decent. I honestly think post-sideboard we have a pretty decent matchup against Mono Red Madness, so it's always annoying to lose those, but we did just mulligan to 5 game 1, and I think if we hadn't, based on how we performed, we probably would have done okay. And then we kept a risky one, but we didn't see a land for like 10 draws or something. It was a lot. So a bit unfortunate. Looks like we're against Terror to round things out. Play a Delver of Secrets. I mean, I might as well kill the Delver, I think. Probably with a cast down, because the Tithing Blade can get around Ward, but obviously Tithing Blade has other downsides, but I think this is okay. They Brainstorm. Play another Delver. I think here I'll just play a Gardens and pass with Campfire and cycle the Troll up. I could go for a Tithing Blade, but I might want to save this. Also, they clearly have like a Spell Pierce or something up, it looked like. There's a Dispel. I'm also not too afraid of the Aberration since I can just gain 2 of the life back every turn. Cycle Alorian. I think I'll just Campfire now. Double Campfire, I mean, we're still gaining life through this aberration and even pretty decently offsetting terrors and things like that. So we'll take 3. There's a terror and activate Campfire twice. So I could Tithing Blade now. They might have a counterspell for it, and then I guess I could Fanatical Offering this, but I don't even get a chump block, like without them being able to dispel it. That doesn't seem very good. Also, they could just sacrifice the aberration, and I don't kill the bigger one. I think we'll just play this and pass. If they tap out at the end step, I'll go for an Offering. If not, we still have chump block plus Campfire for a couple of turns. I could Offering. It pretty much just eats their dispel and makes their terrors cheaper. I don't think it's worth it. Of course, eating the dispel can be good for like a future cast down or whatever. It's possible Offering on the end step here, and then they dispel, and I can like Tithing Blade, but then I'm wasting a chump block, which doesn't feel very good. I don't know. Feels like a tough spot if we don't get some more removal. Can't really play a Thorn of the Black Rose ever. We'll go for the Tithing Blade. That works. Eats the flyer. We'll pass. They ponder, and another Delver. Here, I will go for the Offering since I have another one. I assume this will get countered, but then I can maybe resolve one on the Tithing Blade. But we're gonna Campfire. We don't want to waste the life gain here. Yeah, so if I Offering, I think this is fine. Offering here, if they counterspell, then I have a cast down for a terror. That resolves. Defile doesn't quite kill a terror. It can kill the Delver if I want, and I get to Bojuka Bog, which is pretty good. If I cast down a terror here, I have to not use the Campfires, which I just don't really want to do. I could hold the Defile for later, but I think killing the Delver is worth it, especially if we get more Tithing Blades. So I think this is fine. We are taking 10, but of course we can gain 4 of it back. Crypt Rats. Crypt Rats probably gets countered, but if it doesn't, then I still can't immediately blow up the terrors, but next turn I can. Doesn't get countered, okay. They might have a Demon Fury, but if not, then I can just double Campfire, and then take 5. I guess we're taking 10 here, and then, yeah, I mean, we're going low, but if this can wipe their board, it's pretty good. All right. Yeah, so we can go back up to 8 here on our turn, or maybe their upkeep, or their turn, or whatever. We Crypt Rats for 5. We go to 3, but we still have the 2 mana for the Campfires, and then they have nothing. Ideally, we can resolve a Thorn, and we're in a pretty good spot from there. It might be a little premature for them to do that, but definitely not a bad spot for us. Here we get Duresses and maybe Fairy Macabres. Fairy Macabre I sometimes bring in depending on the deck that I'm playing because it's really good for Sleep of the Dead, but I don't think I care about Sleep of the Dead that much in this matchup. So maybe don't care about those. Troublemaker Roof is not relevant though. Spinning Darkness only hits Delver. Campfire is even good here, as we saw. Like, it offsets their damage quite a bit. Spellbomb's obviously good. Bojuka Bog, Cast Down, Crypt Rats. Pulse, blanks one of their creatures, plus get something back that they countered. In the right circumstances, Thorn or Avenging Hunter can be good enough. So there's not a lot I want to cut here. Maybe we'll cut like a Lembus and an Insight. Well, not a lot of card draw here, although the Eviscerator's Insight is nice because it obviously can be flashed back, but I kind of just like the early removal if they did land a Delver and a good amount of land drops. So play a Haunted Mire. So if we do like a kind of a stalemate of just draw go, I at least have my first 4 lands planned out, which is nice, without even having to cast a spell. Well, that is a Campfire. I kind of think I will just cast it, because if they want to counter this, obviously it does do work, and there's a reason I left it in, but it's not the best thing ever either. So like if they counter it, that's a counter spell they're not using on something else. And since they let it go, we get to use up our mana that we're otherwise wasting and gain some life. So I think it's fine. Lorien Revealed. Thought Scour hits 2 islands for them, which is nice for us. Play an island and they're just going to pass. We'll gain a couple life. I could Duress, but there's nothing I really want to cast after the Duress if it resolves. Usually you want to like push through with a Duress, forcing them to counterspell it, and then you get something else to resolve, but I don't need that yet, so I'll probably wait until I want to resolve a Tithing Blade or a card draw spell or something. I'll cast a Lembus here. I don't care too much about the Lembus that I want to Duress it, or like Duress first. But if they want to counter it, it's fine. If they have an Annul, obviously I think that makes sense for them to counter, but if they didn't have an Annul, I don't think they'd use a full counter spell on it. But getting it down would be nice to set up more card draws and stuff, or land drops, that is. Bojuka Bog's a pretty good draw. They have 4 spells in the grave. I could Duress first to try to draw out another spell. That's not a bad idea, just like make them waste a spell that doesn't contribute to their terrors, but I think Duress will be good later. They go for a Brainstorm and then a Delver. I can Defile the Delver. They have 2 mana. Defile already does -4/-4 though. Sure, we'll just kill it. Okay, they conceded. We were already in a pretty good spot with the Bojuka Bog hitting good land drops, but like I said, seemed like a bit premature on their concessions, but, it's their time if they want to save it. Got a 4-1 with the deck, pretty nice. I was hoping for that trophy, that Mono Red Madness matchup. I really think we're kind of have an okay first game, because we already have some good card draw. We have good ways to kill their creature. But post-sideboard with Weather the Storms and Duress, I think we're very heavily favored, and we just did not draw a land in that third game, and obviously that's going to lose us the game. So pretty close to a trophy. I like this list a lot. I've been a little back and forth on Pulse Marasa in Gardens. In fact, I've been a little back and forth on any green spells in the main deck, except for Avenging Hunter. But the Pulse really felt good here. Troublemaker Oof in the main deck didn't do much. We didn't draw it that much, and when we did, it was mostly just a 2/2. So I think that one could maybe go, but then again, I didn't play up against any affinity. I think I played against one Jund, so we didn't hit the matches where it's really, really good. Spellbomb and Campfire I think are great in here. I do like how clean a lot of the numbers for this is. 4 Defile, 4 Cast Down. Part of me wants 4 Wellsprings, but the fact that we lost to a deck that the life gain's good against, and it's just, burn is so prevalent right now, I think the Lembuses are probably pretty good. So my ideal list would probably be tweaked a little bit from this. Maybe take out the Troublemaker Oof, maybe add in another Avenging Hunter, although we didn't really need another Hunter. A couple things could change, but this is definitely a deck that I really enjoy playing, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much to my supporters, including my $10 and up monthly supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, go ahead and check my Medify link down below. It's the best way to make sure I keep putting out daily videos. Thank you to my current supporters, Howard Granger, Rafa Rodriguez, JDNPX, Adam Cadmon, Apple Beta Pie, Halkez, Cody Cowell, and Sty. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all next time.